fit with something, you can always unmute and you can talk. You can raise your digital hand. Anurag will unmute you. As it is, I think all of you all are on unmute only, and we have a discussion. And this is a long topic. In fact, last year I was given even part three. So it is part one, part two, part three. Like diabetes, yes, Kanchana. Chennai, remember heavy rain in Chennai? Yes, we also get heavy rain with lightning every night. The rain comes
Bangalore also
all the
heavy
time. Yeah.
rain since yesterday. It has not stopped since yesterday. Raining, raining, raining.
Yeah. Hello, Rita ma'am. Rita ma'am, newcomer? No, no.
No, no, no.
No, 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 no,
I'm
no.
like
Who
an
for the devil?
irregular because I
Who for
always
the
miss
devil?
out. I remember only when the class is over. My
Acha.
bad luck.
Never mind. Come, let's get started. So we'll be understanding something known as clinical depression. Okay, clinical depression. So this again is my favorite slide. For the newcomers, you all have heard it many, many times. So knowledge is power, information is ammunition, and awareness is enlightenment. The ancient maxim, know thyself, applies to every facet of human existence, especially to one's health. The prevention, treatment, and management of illness and disease becomes easier and more effective when we are aware of the early symptoms of a medical condition, how to recognize it, and then how to go about getting the right kind of treatment. By this slide, what I mean is that we have been attending these medical camps since the past 3 years. Okay, so we've got a lot of knowledge, equipped ourselves, but we must resist the temptation of self diagnosis, self medication, as well as self investigation. Okay, we need to consult a good doctor. Maybe the doctor also cannot understand it and he refers you to a senior doctor, but your job is to take your disease in the first initial stages, okay, so that you can nip it in the bud stage. You do not allow it like a snowball effect to become a big ball, big disease, fourth stage of the disease. Just go quickly, pick up your signs and symptoms. So these camps are there for you to learn how to pick up these little cues. We call them as cues, whether in yourself, whether in your family members, whether in your contemporaries, in your neighbors, but not to get scared, but to consult a doctor, and do not do it yourself. So this is the atom bombs line sentence. Depression is difficult to define. Okay, what do you mean by difficult to define? Because it does not present the textbook symptoms. What do you mean by textbook symptoms? Is that, see, now as I'm a doctor, I'm a homeopath. So in college we were not taught what is COVID. We were not taught because that time COVID never existed. Okay, although it's a lab prone disease. So like that we have to understand that our symptoms today do not follow the textbook rules, right? You'll get new symptoms because man is evolving, man is changing, man is growing each day. The environment is changing, the exposure is changing. Now a simple thing like chikungunya, had we heard about it? Okay, so what happens is now there is breeding mosquitoes and the flies. Breeding also happens. So we are getting very new kinds of diseases, new kinds of symptoms, right? Hmm? There. So it is difficult to define. It does not come in a particular way only. It is difficult to experience. Okay, it is very difficult to experience and supremely difficult to work one's way out of. So what do you mean by supremely difficult to work one's way out of? I remember I was attending a psychiatrist lecture. He said I had this patient with me for 2 years. Okay, extremely difficult. Initially he could manage, and then just when I was just going to, he came to visit me, and just when I was thinking now it's been 2 years, let me stop his treatment, the family calls me and they tell me that he has ended his life by suicide. Haven't we all heard of these things? Haven't we heard of that? Who's that fair guy? I'm not racist. He just suddenly ended his life by suicide. A foreign Mr. Carey, Jim Carrey, or something like that. Anybody can recollect? I think it's Jim Carrey. Very, very, very jovial. So, in fact, they say, that the person who's the most jovial person in a party, he is having something really inside him, and he can laugh the loudest. So, what do you mean by it's difficult to work your way out? Is just when you think things are going the best way, and you'll hear this. Also, let me tell you all, we should not be saying the word committed suicide. That's wrong. We should be saying, if you look into the good newspapers, okay, if you look into the TOI, it will be telling you they ended their life by suicide. It's not committed suicide. Okay, a very, very recent case. Anybody can tell me recent case of senior citizens? It was a male. Tell me. Bolo. I don't read the papers, but I am on Instagram. Nobody can remember? Malaika Arora's father, stepfather. Yes, you recollect now, Rita madam? What have they mentioned? That he called up both the daughters. They got along very well, although they were stepchildren. But he called up both the daughters and he said, I am feeling very tired. What did he mean by feeling tired? Physically? Was he physically?
Mentally to end his life.
And then the slippers are also kept, and then he jumped from whatever floor. Very shocking. Very shocking. So tomorrow you have to attend the class, because I have so many takeaway things for seniors on how to keep themselves busy so that they don't experience depression. Also, I have mnemonics. Mnemonics made. Retired. What is the mnemonic of retired? It's fun tomorrow. But let us study the case today. Okay, understanding causes. So it's difficult to work one's way out of. That's the meaning. Understanding causes, symptoms, and diagnosis of depression, depression management and treatment. So, in case you are struggling with mood swings, do you suffer from low self esteem and complexes in life? Okay, what do you mean by if you're suffering from mood swings? So, suppose I am very, very happy one day and I'm very, very low one day. So, do you think I'm suffering from bipolar disorder? Anybody knows what is the meaning of bipolar? This swing from
Swings of one
behavior,
end to another.
one behavior to another. Okay, but then how do you differentiate between bipolar and being resilient? Maybe you just come out of that case and you are able to get out of it. So I heard some very senior doctor, very, very aged, I think he must be 80. So he said, what is the definition of resilience? Come, tell me. Raghu sir, you can tell me. Dilip sir, you can tell me. Hasni madam, you can tell me. What is the meaning of resilience?
Resilience is something who can withstand different kinds of conditions strong enough.
Dictionary meaning, simple meaning.
Transparency.
Ability to be happy.
Yeah, recovering
Adaptability.
quickly from any difficulties or something like
Yes,
that.
yes. So haven't you all heard of people saying, I am quick to bounce back? Heard this line?
Yes.
So he said, no, it's not bounce back, it's bounce forward. So beautiful. Bounce forward. Okay? You're moving ahead in your life, no?
Even if we use today's markets are becoming day by day resilient to situations.
Yes, yes. So suppose you are having mood swings. I have a slide which tells you how to differentiate whether it is for after so many days, then you can call it depression. But just if you're having a mood swing, if you're just grieving maybe about death of somebody, you're just grieving, you can't be calling it depression. Okay, we will also be differentiating between what is sadness, what is grief, and then how you can label it that is it actually depression that you label it as depression. And do you suffer from low self-esteem and complexes in life? Why I have put this line is that many a times it happens that you suffer from a lot of guilt. Okay, suppose it happens like it happened with me with my mother also. Okay, you just feel I didn't know this is the last time I would see her. Yeah, I would go again, and I didn't know I didn't know this. You follow? So suppose you carry that guilt and then you self blame. What is that also called? Reproaching yourself, reproaching, blaming. And that, if it is very, very prolonged, if it's perpetual, if it's continued, that can also prolonged grief can also lead to depression. Right? Prolonged guilt, sorry, not grief. And it can, suppose it's stemming up from low self-esteem and complexes in life. Now, what is the learning objective in this class? We will be learning how to manage the glooms and the dooms. Okay, assist in disease prevention by maintaining healthy outlook to life, lead a better quality of life. Okay, what do you mean by disease prevention by maintaining healthy outlook to life? Can I just be only positive and then things will be going away? How many times have we told somebody in our house, go for a drive, you'll be fine. Go for a bath, you'll be fine. Change your clothes. Okay? Go watch a movie with your We've done that, right? But then does that work? And does that person get more angry if we give guidance and suggestions and advices?
Yes.
Yes. Shula madam, I think you're talking to somebody else and the mic is on unmute. Okay, let's proceed further. So how do you define a mood? So a mood is a sustained emotional tone perceived along with a normal continuum of sad to happy. What do you mean by continuum? A prolonged effect. Mood disorders are characterized by abnormal feelings of depression or euphoria. What's the meaning of the euphoria? It's the opposite of depression with associated psychotic features in some severe cases. What do you mean by psychotic features? They can be even violent. Okay, mood disorders are divided into bipolar and depressive disorders. So mood is something which is sustained for a long period of time from sad to happy. Now, this again is a very, 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 very important slide. If your arm is broken, you get a cast. What's a cast? Is that POP cast? Fracture fast cast. But if your brain is broken, you get outcast. Come on, let us talk on this. Should I keep it up on screen for more? Because it's really, really very, very, very touching slide. Tell me. What is the meaning of this?
This mean to say if it is physical something, it can be covered with something. If it is the brain, then people will start in the beginning, olden time, they used to make fun of those people, saying they are mad.
Mad, insane. So
Uh, in-
this means let us all take a minute of silence and understand in my house. Okay, somebody gets a fracture. Okay, I quickly run and get the cast put. Right? Will I have
Yes.
second thoughts of going to the orthopedic doctor? Okay,
No.
but if my child is behaving obnoxiously, will I quickly run to the shrink or the psychiatrist? Let us all think like that. No.
No.
Will we try to
No, you try with your friends, you talk, you analyze
talk,
yourself,
cajole, and won't
and then make a decision later.
what else? What else? There are some
The
people who
school
will
teachers, they talk to school teachers.
school teachers, and do you know they are also not trained to deal with
Yeah. Hmm.
But
We
nowadays
need
in
counselors.
school, but nowadays they have kept counselors and
yes, they have real counselors for separate subjects, this and that. But when a child goes to the counselor, what do the other children say to that? Uh, what do the other children talk about themselves within among themselves when the other child is going to the counselor?
Then they will outcast
They
him.
say paglu hai, paglu. Children talk like that. I've
they will
heard.
tease
Paglu
that
hai.
child and talk about that child. Make
Yes, suppose
That
there is an
child
autistic
will be
child.
outcasted with
sometimes bully
friends.
that child. They make bully of that child.
Yes, they bully them also. So do you think we quickly run to the counselor as quickly as we go to the doctor for a physical complaint? Certainly not.
No.
No.
Okay. So the day when this changes, and do you know there are sites, online sites, which are anonymous? They are free of cost. You can call them up. Look, I'm having this issue in my house. They will keep your name anonymity and they will suggest to you. But do we approach those helplines as quickly as we run for a physical complaint to the general practitioner down? The
No.
day this has changed, we will change.
Because, ma'am, in India, we don't have that kind of mindset. Na? People, we take it very lenient and very normal thing, and we don't give emphasis to it.
10th November, 10th October was World Mental Health Day. Okay, it was a Thursday. Come, let's proceed forward. So this is what I want to tell you all again and again, time and again, that let us reach out for help if some behavior is abnormal. What is depression? So depression is a common but serious mental illness that interferes with daily life. There are several types of depression. A general definition of depression: an illness that affects moods, pay attention, thoughts, affects your behavior as well as overall health. So again, mood, thoughts, behavior and overall health. Then, what is the first worst part of depression? What is the meaning of this again? Let us discuss. People who don't have it, they just don't get it. What's the meaning of this? Read it again. Read it twice. Read it 4 times till you get the meaning.
People who don't have it, they don't understand the person who is having it.
They just don't get it, which is what I told you. Go for a drive. How many, tell me if I'm speaking something wrong. In earlier days, when the boy was getting into a few bad habits, okay, now so that it is formal bachelorette. Before the marriage, you can go bachelorette, okay. But earlier, when things were happening, what they used to do, what the seniors used to think, that if he dash dash dash, then he'll become proper.
Get him married.
As if the girl has the full power. She's equally young to straighten this guy, and means you got her home to straighten your son. Okay,
It is literally shifting their headache onto the young girl.
young girl, and she's equally immature. She's equally immature. Followed, Carol, in our India, sometimes we do this. We think marriage is going to solve everything, right? Marriage is going to solve everything. But do you know what happens after that? Anybody can comment? It's a very deep thing which I'm going to tell you all.
There are so many other things that arrive out of marriage that we have.
Problem increases. Problem increases and mostly the girl is blamed.
So there is one line, if you will understand, you marry your unfinished business. What's the meaning of this very deep line? You marry your unfinished business. What's the meaning of this? You talk, then I'll tell you the answer. At least it is there in my case.
It means the things you want to do, first of all, you do that.
Anybody else? What do you mean by you marry your unfinished business?
Something that you
So
could
that
not do
you
in your
will,
own life. Try to
will
solve your own problems first.
Shift your responsibilities.
No.
no, then you will
Something you
become
could not
more,
achieve in your own life,
you will
you look for in
finish
another
that
person.
business. You complete your
Nothing-
business by marrying to it.
No.
No.
If you do not finish your business with your parents,
Okay.
like my mother was a very, very powerful lady. She was a very senior homeopath in Mumbai. Okay? She always said, do things yourself, do things yourself. Come on, go. You got lost. Again, go again. Although I'm the only child. And my husband is a carbon copy of her. To that extent, I am not into any diamonds. My mother used to collect diamonds. He collects diamonds for the daughters. They are carbon copies. They are very powerful personalities. They say we marry our parents. We marry our parents. Y'all are smiling. Tell me if I'm speaking something wrong.
But yours was love marriage. You knew him.
No, first boy out of college.
Automatic.
2 weeks after my result, I was so happy I passed. And then this happened, and I didn't say yes, no, nothing, and it was done. And in night, this thing. First boy.
But then how you got the same type? That's what I'm wondering.
That's what I'm telling you. You will, it will materialize because you marry your unfinished business. So finish your there. Otherwise, it will. I'll give you one more example.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you one more example. So there was, please don't, I'm not taking any Hindu Muslim this thing, but I'm just like, even my children, my husband does not like them wearing revealing clothes. They wear now, but he does not like. And in the beginning, even sleeveless was not allowed till the 10th standard. One fine day I allowed, and he blames me for it. Okay, he does not like girls wearing revealing clothes. He's very, very, I would not say old fashioned, he's stone age man. He's from a stone age. Okay, in many things.
Orthodox.
So there was one girl, she was a Muslim, let me just say. So her father never ever allowed her to wear these revealing clothes. And in college, she found a boy who was literally gaga over her, and he used to like her wearing these clothes. And finally, to cut a long story short, she married him. He got married, and after marriage, he never allowed her to wear those revealing clothes.
Oh my God.
Oh, he turned, huh?
Yeah, you look at other girls, but you don't look at my girl. That's Indian mentality.
Yes, very
Oh
nice.
my God.
Understood what I'm trying to say. So marriage does not resolve. Marriage will continue. It will perpetuate unless once you've done your work on yourself. Hello, Urmila Batra. Welcome, newcomer. Once you've done the homework on yourself. So Sadhguru, I was just listening to Sadhguru. Okay, I don't follow him or anything, but he just said, marry anybody. Marry anybody. It's how much you're willing to work on that idiot. What do you mean by working on the spouse, which is called an idiot according to him? Can be a lady idiot also, can be male also. How much you're working on that relationship, then it will work. Right? Y'all are the seniors, y'all can teach me. Yes, compromise, adjust, whatever. How much you are willing. How many of us have, do you think, I always say, no, if you say, oh, I've married my twin soul, you're telling lies. It has to be an up and down. It has to be an up and down. But how much you're willing to work on it. Okay, so they just don't get it. Again, they will just tell you, no, have a shower, this and that. But it is something very deep. It is a brain chemical locha. Okay. So depression is being colorblind and constantly told how colorful the world is. This also is a very beautiful slide because the person not able to see. Another thing, you know what we say? Arey, you have so much. See the other people, they don't have that. Right? Does this work? Isn't it the
No,
most foolish line to say?
no, no.
Okay, but you have such a palatial house, but you have such a good car, but you have such good parents. But he does not like the parents, no? They may be good to you. So it's being, you don't have to show the person what is there to show how colorful you have in your life. The person is depressed means the person is depressed. Depression is living in a body that fights to survive with a mind that tries to die. What is the meaning of this? Come on, let us discuss again. Living in a body that fights to survive with a mind that tries to die. What is the meaning?
Depression is living in the body that fights to survive with a mind that tries to.
हाँ, फिर से रखूं क्या बीना बयानी? बीना जी का आवाज था ना? हाँ, पढ़ो. Tell me.
Very tough to tame your mind. I may be willing physically, but mind I'm unable to tame.
Okay. So
Body is willing, mind is not.
suppose in the house there is somebody, okay, and the person is not having a bath. What do you say?
So go for bath.
You'll feel fresh.
Just thinking.
Arey, go for a bath, you'll feel fresh.
Yeah.
Okay, don't we say that? Now, do you know how much of a struggle it is there for that person who's not had a bath? He's been telling himself, I need to go, and then wait. Again, let me go, and again, okay, I'll go. Again, let me go, let it be, I'm not going. So this has been going on for a long time in his mind, and then you come, put a cherry on his cake, and tell him have a bath. Happens or doesn't happen? So there is a constant struggle going on in between them. That should I be? They are trying their best to go for a bath, but they are not able to. Do you know? It is every one of us. The meaning of thrive, thrive. We all love to thrive. We all want to thrive, but we are not able to thrive. But each one is doing the best of their abilities to do that. What we are seeing, the person is not trying at all. We are seeing that the person is lethargic, very complacent. No, he's tried a lot. He cannot. Huh? Anju madam also newcomer. Oh, next. A general loss of, what are the symptoms? A general loss of interest in most common day-to-day activities. What do you mean by most common day-to-day activities? Means that this guy used to enjoy playing the banjo, but now he's not looking at the banjo. He used to enjoy playing squash, but now he doesn't even look at his racket. The activities which were very much fun to do earlier, now that person has developed ennui. Can anybody tell me the meaning of ennui? ENNUI? Google it.
Interest and inactivity.
8. Lack of
Boredom.
interest.
Yes, Tasneem.
Lost all interest.
Yes. So more than boredom, I would say they have become listless. What is list? Is the shine. Listless or indifferent. More is indifferent to the activities. There. Feeling in a depressed, low mood most of the day, nearly every day, a significant and noticeable weight loss or weight gain. Remember, it cannot be just categorized as definitely weight loss or weight gain, because what is affected is the sensitivity to appetite is affected. That means you can binge eat a lot, or you can be quitting food also. So the sensitivity to appetite is lost. So these people also, like these binge eating disorders. Okay, binge eating disorders, anorexia nervosa, bulimia. What is bulimia? They eat a lot. I've taught you all in the obesity camp. I've taught you all these
Yeah,
disorders.
yeah.
Put the finger and they vomit. So, what do you think is the reason that people succumb to these behaviors?
Their appetite is good and they want to eat, and later they will think, no, I should
Yes,
not put
that's
on
what I
weight.
explained. But what is it? What is the reason?
Loss of
Actors
control.
do to maintain their figure. They don't
Loss
want to
of
put
control.
on, but the hunger tells them eat. Mouth, tongue gives them desire to eat, but they don't want to put on weight.
Yes, that is the
So
symptom.
they
I am asking you. I am asking you. What is the mental state?
Loss of control.
Okay, loss of control. Tasneem madam has
They
written.
want to look like they want to look like all the models and all on the pictures, nice and slim. So they want to maintain their figure.
Some
Yes,
chemical
They
changes
might
here.
not be having the
Chemicals.
ghrelin that causes
ghrelin.
hunger.
Ghrelin is the hunger hormone. Leptin is the satiety hormone. Okay. No.
Vagus nerve.
Self-esteem.
Problem with the vagus
Self-esteem.
nerve, that brain axis.
Okay. Okay. No, it is lack of self-worth and very low self-esteem. Can you all now think of it in what aspect I'm trying to get to you all? All these disorders just do not stem out of the blue. There is something in the childhood which the child has felt. Okay? And then when you become an adolescent and a grown up adult, still it carries over. There is a lack of self worth, self esteem, and then they resort to these kind of behaviors. Why? Because these kind of behaviors, for some time, they give them a dopamine rush. What's a dopamine rush? It's a reward chemical.
Happy.
Dopamine is a reward,
Reward.
but it drops it's very short, short acting, short lived, like cigarette smokers. Half an hour, next cigarette, right? So that dopamine rush, they compels them to eat. If they would be having, so what I want to always tell you all is that a good person will not work on the symptoms. In medical school, all the doctors are trained only to deal with your symptoms. Don't you go down to the doctor and you tell him, yeah, this is happening, and then he gives you medicines. He's dealing only with the symptoms, my dear friends. Is he dealing with the root cause? Or is he trained to deal with the root cause? Or does he have the time to sit with each patient
They only give a few
to deal
medicines.
with the root cause?
There are few medicines only and they prescribe them. That's it.
But if you work on the root cause, this will come up, and then you don't need medicines.
That will be counseling line.
Yes. Then a significant either sleeping too much or alternatively not being able to sleep on a consistent basis. So these two are fluctuating limits of sleep and appetite. Slowed thinking or slowed physical movements that others notice. People will tell you, you were really quick, yeah. Now you're not able to do it. What has happened? Others will notice, you will not understand. A feeling of worthlessness, and yes, Tasneem madam, inappropriate guilt for unknown reason. That's the worst. You're feeling guilty and you don't know the reason. It's somewhere very deep into your subconscious mind. Losing one's concentration or periods of being unable to decide, feelings of tiredness, fatigue, or low energy levels all day long. Excellent. This has to be considered. They say if you think of, you go in the doctor's chamber and you tell him I'm tired, first thing he should be thinking, the doctor will think of vitamin deficiencies. He'll tell you, so jao, I'll give
Can't
you
hear you.
iron shot on your butt. But you have to think in senile geriatric population, you have to think of depression as the first cause, most supreme cause. Because I just told you about Malaika's father. Why you have to think of it as the urgent and the most important cause is because you don't have a tomorrow with the patient. You may not have a tomorrow with the patient. So catch him when he comes to you. Ask him, घर पे क्या होता है? क्या होता है?
कर लेना, करो क्या हुआ है, कुछ नहीं हुआ.
Carol, घर पे क्या होता है means what is going on in your house, in your family. Very important.
Actually, nobody understands that person now.
Very sad state. Losing's one, yes. Thoughts of death, thoughts of suicide on a recurring basis. Okay, it should not be disregarded at all. Never ever disregard all these thoughts if a person is sharing with you. Now, let us differentiate what are illnesses which are similar to depression. So, you should not be confusing it with a thyroid problem. Okay, hypothyroid, especially obese lady, you should, very important that they also suffer from depression, and you should not be confusing it with clinical depression, full blown picture, but you should be getting a diagnosis of your thyroid. Sleep disorders, fibromyalgia, which is chronic fatigue syndrome, is associated with depression. So it's a triad. These are coffee people, fibromyalgia and depression. It's a triad. Autoimmune disorders, SLE or rheumatoid arthritis, very important. Why do you think autoimmune diseases have depression as a common? Think, let me think. Come on, Mini Gogia. Autoimmune diseases and depression. Your answer, which you said. You said no gut brain connection. Madam, you said no gut brain connection. So,
Yes, yes.
your gut is your second brain. Actually, it's your first brain. Enteric nervous system. Enteric nervous system. And it can be chronic fatigue syndrome, little bit difference of fibromyalgia. It's almost similar. Then, what can be the symptoms? There can be poor concentration. How to diagnose depression? Loss of joy or pleasure. Suppose, what do you mean by loss of joy? The husband is getting flowers. I've given you all this example. Your husband is getting flowers and you're telling him, "Arey, yaar, these who spent 300 rupees, they will die tomorrow." Why the hell? Nothing makes you happy. Yes, Tasneem madam, because you have lack of. Let me see who remembers.
When one of my friend told me कि जब भी हम ट्रिप्स पे जाते हैं मुझे तो कुछ लगता ही नहीं, एक जैसा ही लगता है.
हाँ, एक जैसा ही लगता है. KGY Raman, welcome newcomer. No, not low. There is one chemical ka locha, Tasneem madam. So there is loss of tryptophan. Loss of tryptophan, because tryptophan creates serotonin, which is the happy hormone. It is a precursor. Tryptophan is a precursor to serotonin. Serotonin is your happy hormone. If you are happy, you have serotonin, which is prepared where, Dilip sir? Idea hai, yaad hai, Rashmi madam? Where is your serotonin prepared? 90%. I've given you an example of rats, if you'll remember.
It's in the gut.
90% is synthesized in your gut lining. So we always thought it is made from the pineal gland, but there are, Uma Ratnam, welcome. There are rats whose pineal gland has been removed and still they did produce a good amount of serotonin when they were given cheese. Rats love cheese. Okay.
Pardon ma'am, just repeat it. What did you say just now? कि lot of is produced in?
Serotonin is produced in the gut.
Yeah.
But you need tryptophan to produce serotonin, and tryptophan induced many foods are there. So milk has tryptophan, which induces sleep. That's why we usually give milk to a little child. Then there is in paneer. Paneer is tofu. Okay, but dairy tofu. That also, and something sticky. I think it was cheese also. Some kinds of cheese. They have tryptophan. Then there is fatigue, there is withdrawal from family and friend. There are people coming to greet you. The child will not come out to greet the different. See, how do you differentiate? Maybe the child is just shy, but there are some children who've not been shy and suddenly become shy. Maybe it's the age, they are in adolescence, maybe it's puberty. So that time. Then there is irritability, that difficulty sleeping, weight gain or weight loss we discussed, headaches, muscle aches or upset stomach. Very important. Always autoimmune diseases, gut brain connection, they will be having lack of motivation. Earlier they were very motivated, they used to take the initiative, but now lack of motivation as well as suicidal thoughts. Now, what else can be the symptoms? There can be low mood, there can be changes in appetite, there can be sleep disturbance. Yes, why I put a second slide on symptoms is there can be fatigue, there can be difficulty concentration, and this is something different. What is this? Why have I put this slide? Is because do not think that depression means only that the person is sitting unbathed, uncombed hair, and dirty, stinking, not eating, leaving everything there. There is another phase of depression, which is an aggressive phase of depression. Okay, it's not just or that just a slow kind of a redundant kind of a thing. There are people who get so violent in the state of depression, so violent in a state of depression, and do you know they can be having so much stamina in diagnosed cases of depression that they can lift up a whole cupboard of Godrej which is full of clothes. Followed Jasmine Siglu, that is also depression. They can be very aggressive. They can be very violent in stages of depression. Uncontrolled rat, WRATH. That's why I put this for you all to understand that agitation is also a form of depression. Now, what can be the causes? It can be genetics. Okay, but again, what do you mean by genetics? Now, there is a gene of cancer, there is a gene of many things, many diseases in my shoelaces. What is the shoelaces? The telomeres of the genes, the DNA. Okay, they are the ends, they hold the coding kind of thing. So they are like shoelaces, the telomeres, the ends of the double stranded helix. So they can be lying very dormant. But if the environment is suitable, it can blossom, it can bloom, it can manifest into a full-blown stage of depression. So it needs the proper environment for the gene to manifest. Otherwise, let it lie dormant. Okay, so suppose I have genes of cancer and I don't take sugar, I keep my mind balanced. Stress is an inevitable part of life. If I say I don't have stress, I'll be the biggest liar on earth. Okay, and stress also is needed. At times, stress also is needed. If this 3 o'clock was not there, I would not join the class at 3 o'clock. Okay, stress is also needed. So, what you have to understand is if I manage my stress well, okay, whatever way, my yoga, whatever way, then if I control it, manage it through my diet, my lifestyle, everything mediocre, in limits, then the gene will not manifest. The cancer gene will not manifest. Yeah? So let it lie down. I don't have to do. So Mini Gogia will tell you all that line. Come Mini Gogia, tell them. There are newcomers.
Ma'am, you'll have to repeat your this thing question because
You zoned off.
What you talking
sorry,
about?
sorry.
Are you
You laid
are you
confidence in me and I'm not able to answer.
Okay, I'll say the line. We have to go forward.
oh, you're talking about genetics takes and loads
Okay,
the gun
generally,
and
okay.
lifestyle pulls the
I
trigger.
didn't get it properly.
Must
Oh,
be thinking she's such a bad teacher, she comes to know, no? It's not like that. I just pick on anybody. Okay, so there is brain chemistry imbalance. Now, what does that little goalie, what does that little goalie do? The depression, the shrink gives you a little goalie, a little pill. It has a lot of neurotransmitters, it has chemicals, it has medicines to balance your brain chemistry. Okay, so depression is not just a mood disorder, there is imbalance of chemicals, brain chemistry imbalance. That's why it occurs. and we need supplementation for that. There is poor nutrition, there is physical health issue. Yes, chronic diseases, chronic incurable diseases, definitely depression sets in. Drugs as well as stress. There, some common children amongst of depression among children also. Let us understand how we can, because we have grandchildren, right? I don't have. Changes in weight, changes in sleep pattern, unusual and persistent sadness or irritability, sudden loss of interest in activities they once enjoyed, sluggishness, lower self-esteem, hopelessness, thoughts of or attempts at suicide. What is the youngest age of suicide in a child?
6, I think I read somewhere. 6.
I told you, 6 years.
Mm.
Smart child, no? It just came my way, so I thought I'll put this slide. Now, let us understand the types of depression. So this is the most common one, okay? Which is, the second one is most common. So major depressive disorder. Now this is the common one, persistent depressive disorder. Then there is bipolar, that means you fluctuate from two positions. See, there are two faces. Beautifully, the slide is showing two faces. Postpartum depression. What's this? What's this? I've seen a case
It's
of
after
Depression
delivery.
after delivery.
The mother will have this depression.
So my maid was there, okay, the place where I used to live earlier, and she got her daughter married. She had 5 daughters or 4 daughters. Eldest daughter got married, and quickly within a year delivered a child. And then she said, "I'm going to village because she has had phenol and she's ended her life." Why am I giving you all this example? The baby is there, girl child. We think that all this happens to us. All this happens to us. Our class of people. Can you understand? She ended her life. Yes, excellent. So the new mother, now my children also, okay, the gap is just 15 months. My girls have a gap of 15 months. So there are so many, and my in-laws passed away in 4 years of marriage. So I was left with one daughter who was 2.5 and one was 1. And there were so many times in a day I used to say somebody should take them away from me. Take both of them away from me for at least 1 hour in a day, which my mother understood. And she said, keep a maid and you go. Because I was left with the whole house alone and children, and my husband was upset because he lost his parents in 2 months, and I didn't know what to do, and I used to sit and cry. So forget people telling you that you should be happy, you got such a good child. No, doesn't work. Doesn't work. Okay? You may be feeling the child is a ball of gold or whatever. No.
Ma'am, can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, there are 1 or 2 friends, they are facing depression. Like a friend, she keeps on washing her bed sheets every day, almost every day. And she's lost a lot of weight. Now, should we be giving any suggestion to these kind of persons?
No, it's OCD, madam.
Hmm?
It's OCD.
Yeah.
OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Okay. So, I mean, they should be taking medicines. The doctor is prescribing medicines. They're eating.
You can't do anything, ma'am. When
There
they
are
talk,
people,
just listen.
there are people who just keep washing their hands.
I know a person who's very close to me. Since birth, that lady is washing her hands very frequently. Having bath 2 times a day, even in winters.
Yes. So I just, like you suggested, no. So my friend's mother has a bath for 2 hours. She cleans the tiles, she cleans everything. So I told her, why don't you keep the buckets only out? That she's cleaning every bucket every day. She said she cleans the tiles. And do you know, madam, let me just share something nice with you. I don't know it's nice or wrong. When a mental disease is there is absence of physical diseases. Have you noticed? I want all of you seniors, you all are smart seniors. This is an
Absence
English
of
class. It's not an Hindi
absence
class.
of what?
I'll repeat. I want you all to understand this. If there is a this is homeopathic concept, okay? In the homeopathic organon, it's always written that if there is a very strong mental disorder, there will be this lady. My mother passed away at 82, so now 3 years. So this lady is 86. This auntie is 86. She has no physical disorder. Are you all following what I'm trying to tell you? When there is a very severe mental disorder, there will be no physical disorder. She has no diabetes. She eats very well. She explains and teaches the maids how to cook. She's only like this. She's bent. My mama, severe case of Alzheimer's. Okay, we have to lock the door, otherwise he opens that, goes away. There is an attendant all the time. No physical disorder. He says, I'm not going to die fast. I don't have diabetes. I don't have a hypertension. I don't have anything.
But why so?
Because we are giving medicines of antidepressants, na?
That is nature's law. It is nature's. I want you all to do this homework in your family. See, I have observed. And I'm saying my homeopathy Bible organon is true. That this, when there is a strong mental disorder, physical disorder cannot survive.
What's the logic behind it?
Disease lives on various planes. I want you all to think. Is it true? Is madam saying out of rubbish? Think.
Ma'am, it's absolutely true.
No, but I
I know a
disagree
friend who's got
because
mental disorder, but he's absolutely healthy. Nothing ever affects him at all. We all get sick, but he does not get sick. So I don't know why. We
We are
wonder
smart.
why.
So my mama cannot. He was elder to my mother, so he feels very bad that the others have passed away. So first of all, though, he calls me my mother's name, and he calls me Sarla, and then he says, "You also have daughters," and then he says, "So when if we ask him a question, do you know what he says?" Just smart brat. He says, "I'll give you the answer tomorrow." In Sindhi, he says, "Subhane, I'll tell you tomorrow." Very smart. And I came to know about this answer also because they don't want to show that they don't know. So for an Alzheimer's patient, don't go and ask them the same things thinking that he will remember and he will become normal. No, you're troubling their brains if you tell them, do you remember this, do you remember this? You're troubling them. Don't be too smart with them. We try, Murshana madam, are bachpan ka, do you remember this? Don't do that. It's irritating them. Well explained. Okay, thank you, Radha ma'am. So we will.
You're welcome.
Tomorrow we've reached 4 baje. We will continue tomorrow with a lot of takeaways of today's class. Think, think on those terms. It's a serious class. I'm trying to make it a little palatable. I would not say fun. A little palatable, so that a serious issue is considered. Yes, thank you for the gift of your time, energy, and attention. And thank you, Anurag, for patiently listening to us. We meet
Thank you.
tomorrow 3 p.m. for part 2. Bye bye.
Thank
Bye
you, ma'am.
bye.
Thank you all. Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
all.
you,
Bye bye.
ma'am.
Bye.
thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Lovely.